Your second recording from Michelle. Hope you're still doing great. Just make these changes when you have time and resubmit them. So I wanted to go over your scenarios and talk about those a little bit with you. And again, you've got the right idea. You just have to make a few little tweaks, okay? So scenario 1, you pick child crying when mother leaves. Response: telling kid it will be okay, mom will be back to get you. Do you want a hug or for me to hold you until you're ready to play? So you could eliminate telling the child it will be okay, because it would be better to say, I know you're upset that your mom has left. And you can reassure them they will get back, but it really is important just to validate what they're feeling. So when you tell them it's okay and they'll be back, you're leaving out the part where you say, I know you're upset that your mom has to leave. So I would replace it with validating what they're feeling rather than telling them it'll be okay and the mother will be back. And yes, you could ask them if they want a hug, or you can ask them if they want to go play. But the main thing would be to let them stay in their feelings, because they may need to. So trying to distract them away from their feelings, it's better to let them feel their feelings and comfort them and just stop there. So I would not try to move the child into being ready to play until they actually are. So you might want to just, you could even just eliminate that. You could just, acknowledge that that's what they're feeling. They're not really doing anything that requires any kind of response other than that. Child hits another child. Okay, so that goes on all the time. So that's a good one. Please do not hit my friend. It makes me sad when you do that. They do not like when you do that. Can you tell them sorry? Okay, so here I want you to go back and really re-look at everything here. I want you to go back into the module and look at how you can validate the feelings the child is having, and look at how you acknowledge the feelings of the child that gets hurt. And we're not going to ask young children to apologize. Young children really don't feel sorry about what they do. They're not old enough to do that yet. You could say, are you sad that so-and-so got hurt? But probably they would say no. So I want you to really rethink this one. Go back into the module and look at how you could think about that differently. And if you need help with that, let me know. Child complains about something on their plate for lunch. It's okay. You have other things on your plate you can eat. Could you take a bite of the food? If you do not like it, you do not. I don't know what your policies are on, asking kids to eat things. I would say just validate. Yeah, it looks like you got something on your plate that you don't want, that you don't like, or you don't like that it's on your plate. What's on your plate that you do like, or something like that. But I would not. I would check into this taking a bite thing. I'd just be careful with that, because you don't want the child to perceive that they're being forced to eat something. Anyway, just be careful with that. Child runs in the classroom. So this is a really common response, that, we're not supposed to run in the classroom because you could fall and get hurt. So I would say, rather than caution them about falling and getting hurt, I would say go right to, where can you run, and where can you walk? So this is a good way that you've outlined this here, and just be careful with that. If we over caution children about getting hurt all the time, we can run into some other difficulties. So it's really good to just point out where can you run and where can you walk. And also notice if you're having kids running a lot in the classroom, that might mean you need to get outside more. Actually, young children are kind of programmed to practice running. All right, child takes a toy. Let's not take toys. Can you give that back? And ask them if you can play with them. So again, I would say, could you change this up a little bit? And instead of saying, let's not take toys, could you say, were you wanting a turn with that? And I think here you're asking if they can play together, but if it's one toy, I'm not sure how that would work. So I would say, were you wanting a turn with that? Oh, here's how you can get a turn with that. Let's give it back to so-and-so, and now that I know you want to turn with it, we'll make sure that that can happen when this child is done, or something like that. So give that a try. But you've got the right idea about, just kind of negotiating that. Child gets off cot during nap time. So yeah, I would say, you're offering the child an opportunity to just be with toys quietly. I might also ask them, is there something they need? Or if they would like for you to sit with them, if you can, that kind of thing. Child yelling across classroom. Well, yeah, kids yell. Sometimes adults do too. I would check yourselves on that, because a lot of times kids yell across the room because we do. But kids, this inside voice thing is something you could practice with puppets. Just be sure that you're making sure kids understand what you mean by inside voices. So this is good, because you're saying, when you're loud, I can't hear other children talking. Child takes bike from another child on the playground. So if they really are next, this is the same thing as the turn taking we said before. I would not put this as a question if it's not a question. You're not really asking them if they can give it back. So I would not, just be careful. It's really important. I think that's in the module. We don't ask questions that we don't really mean to be questions. So be careful with that and reword that a little bit. Child puts toys in the mouth. Well, depending on the age, that's pretty normal. I would not caution them about making people sick or any of that. And I would not try to scare them into not putting the toy in their mouth. I would find out why they're putting the toy. How old are they? If they're young and they're still putting toys in their mouth a lot, you can just redirect them. Yeah, I just be careful with this. Rethink it a little bit. You could find out what they can put in their mouths, especially if it's a child that's putting things in their mouths a lot. You need to find some things they can, so you can trade it out and exchange. Try that. Just go back and tweak that a little bit. The child spills their milk. Yeah. So I would say, that if you call it a mess, that they've made a mess, just be careful with that. That's very judgmental. Kids spill things. We spill things. It's an accident usually. Or if they're just having a hard time and things get spilled. I'm not sure that way it does not spill more. I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to say, let's get rid of that. I would say, depending on the age of the child, you could offer to help them clean it up. And, a spill is just an accident. I would not consider that a behavior that needs consequences or anything. I would just say, yeah, let's get a paper towel. Oh, it looks like that spilled. let's get a paper towel here, I'll help you, kind of thing. So I hope this is helpful. Some of these things are just normal things kids do. I'm not sure if I don't want you to consider them things that are necessarily needing consequences or anything of that nature. So I hope that helps for now. Let me know if you have any questions or need help.